Greetings, walkers of the abyss, and welcome back to the Great Abyss. Fear has always been a force that ignites human imagination, giving rise to terrifying creatures, beings that challenge everything we believe to be possible. Today, we will explore some of the most disturbing creatures ever conceived in fiction, entities whose very names can shake our souls. Also, let us know in the comments which other terrifying creatures you'd like us to explore in future videos. Prepare yourselves, because this is the most terrifying creatures in fiction. Let's begin. The Shrike is easily one of science fiction's most chilling and unforgettable creations. Also known ominously as the Lord of Pain, this enigmatic being from Dan Simmons' Hyperion cantos exists solely to inflict agony upon all sentient life it encounters. Imagine a creature whose purpose and very essence revolves around pain. It's not just terrifying, it's nightmare fuel. Hyperion itself is a world of contradictions. On the surface, a barren, windswept wasteland, yet beneath lies a vast network of ancient labyrinthine tunnels, hinting at civilizations long lost to time. Among its most haunting features are the time tombs, strange monuments moving backward through time, wrapped in powerful anti-entropic fields. It is here, amidst these mysterious structures, where the Shrike patiently waits, bound to a domain that defies logic itself. Though roughly humanoid in shape, the Shrike towers at over 3 meters tall. Its body gleams with a metallic sheen, as if constructed from liquid mercury constantly shifting and flowing. Razor-sharp blades and spikes protrude from its entire form. Wrists, knees, throat, forehead, turning it into a walking weapon of unimaginable horror. 4 arms adorn its torso, 2 ending in lethal, scythe-like talons, the other 2 eerily human-like. Its eyes burn a hypnotic crimson, instantly freezing its victims into a trance of helpless dread. Yet the Shrike's most unsettling power isn't physical, it's temporal. It doesn't move through space. Instead, it blinks from one place to another instantly, manipulating time itself. Observers see no motion, only a sudden disappearance followed by a horrifying reappearance right beside them. To victims, time stretches painfully slow, each heartbeat becoming an eternity as the creature approaches inexorably. Each strike is deliberate, slow, and inevitable. It's not speed, it's something far worse, a complete command over time itself. For those especially unfortunate, the Shrike reserves a fate more horrifying than death. Impalement upon the Tree of Pain, a gigantic shimmering metallic structure standing over 200 meters tall. Victims, human and otherwise, hang there, skewered alive in eternal agony, trapped in a single endless moment. Their torment has no end, their screams never fade, and the Shrike watches, an impassive deity reveling quietly in the suffering it has created. The sheer terror inspired by the Shrike has given rise to a chilling religious sect on Hyperion, the Church of the Final Atonement, devoted entirely to the creature. Believers see the Shrike as both destroyer and redeemer. Their doctrine demands pilgrimages to the time tombs in groups of prime numbers. According to their grim beliefs, the Shrike grants one pilgrim a single wish, while dooming all others to unimaginable torment. As the time tombs begin destabilizing, their anti-entropic fields expand, freeing the Shrike to roam the planet unchecked. Entire cities are slaughtered, their populations impaled upon the horrific Tree of Pain. Humanity's last remnants cower in the city of Keats, hoping desperately to escape the creature's reach. In the universe of One Punch Man, humanity regularly faces existential threats from monstrous beings whose power seems beyond comprehension. Among these horrifying creatures stands Melzargard, one of the generals from the alien force known as the Dark Matter Thieves, an entity so grotesque and powerful, it redefines what it means to be terrifying. Imagine a creature whose form is never fixed, always shifting into new shapes, sprouting limbs, mouths, and eyes in disturbing, chaotic arrangements. Its body isn't a singular entity, but rather multiple, independently intelligent segments, each sharing a collective mind. Every attack dealt to it is met not with pain or hesitation, but with immediate regeneration. Sever a limb, and 2 more grotesque appendages emerge in its place. Crush it, and watch it reassemble stronger and more aggressive than before. This endless regeneration is rooted in strange, marble-like cores hidden deep within its ever-changing body. These cores serve as its only vulnerability, each allowing instantaneous reconstruction of its fluid, monstrous form. Yet locating them proves nearly impossible, as they constantly shift position within its shape-shifting anatomy, shielded by layers of writhing muscle and bone. Facing it in combat becomes an exercise in desperation. Every successful blow teaches the creature more about its opponent, prompting instant adaptation. If struck from a distance, it spawns projectile limbs to counterattack. Confronted closely, it forms blades or massive blunt weapons to overwhelm foes. Each moment of battle only serves to enhance its lethality, turning a fight into a hopeless struggle against inevitability itself. Beyond raw physical horror lies an unsettling intelligence. Calm and strategic, it speaks and analyzes with cold, calculated cruelty, fully aware of the terror it instills. This intelligent cruelty adds a layer of dread rarely encountered, as opponents realize they're not just battling a mindless monster, but an enemy that understands and savors their fear. It embodies the primal horror of confronting something truly unstoppable, an entity that negates strength, defies strategy, and renders conventional victory meaningless. It's terrifying not because of its immense power, but because it challenges the very notion that power matters at all. In the face of such a creature, even heroes can feel utterly helpless. What if the most dangerous monster was not a creature from space, but the darkest version of a hero? In the dark corners of DC Comics lies a chilling figure known simply as the Batman who laughs, an entity born from the twisted fusion of Gotham's greatest protector and its deadliest villain. Imagine Batman's cunning intellect, strategic mind, and combat expertise, combined with the Joker's sadistic cruelty and chaotic insanity. The result is a being who terrifies even those who've seen the worst humanity has to offer. His origin is as harrowing as his presence. On Earth -22, Batman confronts Joker after he commits unthinkable acts, spreading chaos and forcing innocents to mimic his twisted grin. In a moment of rage and despair, Batman finally crosses his line, killing Joker. Yet Joker's final revenge comes from beyond the grave. A toxin released from his dying body infects Batman, slowly corrupting him into something unimaginable. In the days that follow, Batman fights a losing battle against his own mind. Initially, he assures allies like Superman and his Bat family that everything is under control, but soon, the facade cracks. His brilliant mind remains intact, but his moral compass becomes warped, distorted by Joker's toxin. One by one, those closest to him realize the horrifying truth. The man they trusted, the man they loved, has become their greatest nightmare. The Batman who laughs methodically destroys everything he once stood for. He murders his loyal companions, Nightwing, Batgirl, Red Hood, and Robin, claiming they're simply obstacles to his newfound evolution. Even the mighty Justice League falls to his cunning as he systematically exploits their weaknesses, exterminating Earth's most powerful heroes using their own weapons against them. Superman, infected by a devastating toxin, watches helplessly as the Batman who laughs forces him into an unimaginable tragedy, murdering his own family while a twisted, blood-stained smile forms across his face. But even this horror isn't enough. When he's done, this Batman turns his gaze outward, drawn by the dark god Barbados to the vast, chaotic realms of the dark multiverse. Here, he sees endless worlds filled with unimaginable horrors, worlds ripe for conquest. He becomes a ruthless king, ready to spread madness and despair across reality itself. Yet beneath the horror lies a disturbing truth. This twisted Batman believes he's finally discovered the ultimate form of victory. To him, the combination of Joker's madness and Batman's intellect is the perfect hand, the unbeatable blend of strategy and unpredictability. He sees himself not merely as a monster, but as the inevitable evolution, an unstoppable force born from tragedy and perfected by darkness. This creature is pretty terrifying, precisely because he reveals the thin line separating heroism from madness, order from chaos, and savior from destroyer. He reminds us that even the greatest heroes can fall, and when they do, the nightmares they unleash can surpass even our darkest imaginations. Next, we dive deeper into one of the most disturbing creatures I've ever encountered, The Thing, from John Carpenter's iconic 1982 horror masterpiece. When I first watched this film as a child, it didn't just scare me, it traumatized me for weeks. I remember clearly lying awake, terrified that everyone around me could secretly be this creature, hidden beneath the faces of those I trusted. Its impact was deep, unsettling, and lasting. This alien creature is utterly unique in the horror genre. It's not merely an aggressive predator, but a perfect shapeshifter, capable of assimilating and flawlessly imitating any living organism it encounters. Its original form remains unknown because, terrifyingly, it's believed to have already absorbed hundreds, possibly thousands of life forms from across the galaxy before crashing on Earth. It's precisely this unknowable nature that makes the creature so nightmarishly effective. The way the Thing assimilates its victims is especially disturbing. Once it makes contact, its cells rapidly digest and replicate the victim's cellular structure, effectively taking over the body from the inside out. Even more terrifying is that it retains the memories, personality traits, and even physical weaknesses of its prey. For example, when it assimilates Norris in the film, it imitates his heart condition so convincingly that the characters and the audience remain unaware of the deception until it violently reveals itself. Physically, the creature is horrifyingly resilient. It can rebuild itself from severe injury, divide into separate entities, and survive in conditions that would kill most organisms. Only fire, corrosive acids, or total cellular destruction effectively harm it. Even freezing temperatures can't kill it. Instead, the creature enters a state of cryogenic hibernation, patiently waiting to be awakened by new victims. Its transformations are grotesque nightmares brought to life. The Thing opens itself up, sprouting bizarre and grotesque appendages, tentacles, insect-like limbs, eyes, fangs, and human faces, in chaotic, disturbing arrangements. Each part of its body can act independently, allowing severed limbs or even detached heads to become terrifying entities in their own right. The iconic scene where Norris's head detaches and sprouts spider-like legs to escape seared into my memory for weeks. Perhaps most unsettling is how it manipulates human psychology, exploiting trust and camaraderie to spread silently among its victims. Its methodical, quiet approach, hiding within trusted friends, triggers paranoia, turning allies against each other in an increasingly desperate spiral of fear and suspicion. The monster isn't just a physical threat. It's an existential one, capable of eroding identity, trust, and humanity itself. Even after repeated viewings as an adult, the visceral dread and psychological horror I felt as a child remain. It wasn't just the grotesque visuals or gruesome transformations that made this creature terrifying. It was the idea that anyone, even the person closest to you, could be the Thing, silently waiting, plotting your assimilation. Few other horror creatures have ever captured such profound paranoia and existential fear. Continuing our descent into darkness, we find ourselves before two entities that exist far beyond human comprehension: Pennywise, Stephen King's demonic clown from It, and Nyarlathotep, the crawling chaos, a primordial being from H.P. Lovecraft's nightmarish universe. At first glance, they seem worlds apart, yet beneath the surface, they're disturbingly similar. Ancient cosmic horrors who see humanity as nothing more than playthings, puppets to torment for their twisted amusement. Both Pennywise and Nyarlathotep are elder entities, outliving entire civilizations, ancient beyond measure. Their existence has lingered in the shadows of humanity's collective consciousness since time immemorial, whispered about in fearful myths and half-forgotten legends. They view humans not as threats, nor even truly as prey, but as toys, amusing playthings whose fear and suffering are their ultimate satisfaction. Their terrifying power goes far beyond physical violence. Both creatures prefer psychological torment, inducing madness, hallucinations, and intense fear, warping reality itself around their victims. Pennywise manifests the deepest, most personal fears of its prey, taking joy in slowly eroding sanity, feeding off human terror before killing. Likewise, Nyarlathotep, known as the Crawling Chaos and Messenger of the Outer Gods, specializes in spreading madness, manipulating minds, and driving entire civilizations to ruin through subtle, insidious corruption. Shapeshifting is a key weapon in their arsenal. Pennywise is infamous for taking the form of a sinister clown, using this familiar guise to lure and terrify victims. Though it can adopt any shape imaginable, becoming whatever nightmare its victim fears most. Nyarlathotep, meanwhile, walks among humanity disguised in countless forms: prophets, pharaohs, ordinary people, even monstrous creatures, altering appearances effortlessly to deceive, torment, and enthrall. Yet behind their masks lies something far more horrific. Their true forms, if they can even be called that, are incomprehensible, monstrous embodiments of chaos itself, so powerful that merely glimpsing them shatters the human mind, plunging victims into eternal madness. They are cosmic nightmares in the purest sense, entities whose full potential is almost limitless, constrained only by their own twisted desire to savor humanity's suffering. Interestingly, both Pennywise and Nyarlathotep prefer torment over simple destruction. They see humans as playthings, savoring every ounce of despair, dread, and psychological anguish before finishing their game. To them, humans are not enemies. They're entertainment, sources of twisted amusement. But as frighteningly powerful as these entities are, humanity has managed to resist them, temporarily. Pennywise was repeatedly driven back by a group of courageous children, the Losers Club, proving that unity, bravery, and facing one's deepest fears can provide a brief refuge. Nyarlathotep, while impossible to destroy fully, has been confronted, delayed, and thwarted in his schemes by those aware of his nature and willing to risk sanity to oppose him. Nevertheless, their power remains immense, and the very idea of their inevitable return chills us to the core. Pennywise sleeps, awaiting the next cycle to awaken, and Nyarlathotep watches from the shadows, endlessly plotting chaos. Both represent the ultimate cosmic terror, beings who reduce humanity's existence to insignificance, reminding us that our sanity and our lives hang by the thinnest of threads. Conclusion. Well, that's it, guys. I truly hope you enjoyed this chilling exploration into some of the most disturbing and mind-bending creatures fiction has ever created. From cosmic horrors that warp reality to shape-shifting nightmares hiding in plain sight, these beings remind us how thin the line is between sanity and madness. If there's a terrifying entity or story you think deserves its own deep dive here on the Great Abyss, please let me know in the comments. Your ideas always guide us deeper into the shadows. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Stay curious, stay brave, and I'll see you next time.